On August 12, 2024, the Hoggett Project YouTube channel uploaded one of their scariest challenges yet spending an entire night alone in the haunted mountain woods. This video takes us on a chilling journey filled with suspense and fear. The video begins with the YouTuber arriving at a dense forest, setting up his camp as daylight quickly fades. Once night falls, the atmosphere becomes unsettling. Imagine being alone in the middle of a dark forest. Every shadow feels alive, and every sound makes your heart race. While sitting on a chair near his tent, he suddenly hears a strange noise. It's the sound of branches cracking nearby, as if something or someone is moving close to him. Was it an animal? A person playing a prank, or something more sinister? You can feel his fear as he tries to figure out what's happening. The tension builds with every moment, and you can't help but ask yourself, what would I do in his place? Would I stay and investigate or run for my life?
I don't know if that was me or something over there.
After hearing the sound of branches breaking nearby, he decided to check it out. Grabbing his flashlight, he cautiously stepped into the darkness to explore the area around his camp. The forest was eerily silent, and despite looking for a few minutes, he didn't see anything unusual. He couldn't shake the fear of attracting wild animals, especially since he had brought some wine, which could draw them closer. Standing in one spot for what felt like forever, he felt uneasy. The thought of packing up and heading back to the safety of the city crossed his mind more than once. He mentioned something strange though. While he thought he was recording everything, at some point he realized the camera wasn't capturing any of it. That only added to the tension. He mentioned that? As he finally made his way back to the road, he spotted a small raccoon nearby. For a moment he felt a sense of relief until he looked to the side of the road. There he saw a man standing completely still like a statue frozen in place. It wasn't natural. The figure didn't move, didn't make a sound, it just stood there. Listen what he say.
It was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low beam on at this point. I think I see something small. Maybe it's like a raccoon or something right there by the water. And as I hit the high beam, this is when I see it. I see something standing there on the side of the road, pretending to be a statue. Whatever this was decided it was just gonna freeze, and then maybe I wouldn't think it was anything. But as I'm looking in that direction, I'm not even kidding, it looks like somebody dressed up in camo. And they've got their back slightly angled away, I'd say like at a 45 degree. They're standing there about 6 feet tall, looking like a human that I just caught that was probably sneaking up on me. That's all I can think. When I saw what it was, the human, and I kept the light on him for a good 20 solid seconds without saying anything. You know, the fear just kind of washed over me because I'm thinking, what's gonna happen? Call them out like, hey, what are you doing? And they're all camoed out. Maybe they'll just say, oh crap, he caught me, now I'm gonna shoot him. I mean, we're out in the middle of the woods. They say that people are the ones to fear. It's not the animals. That is what happened, and eventually after the 20 seconds, he didn't move, he just kept standing there. So I just pretended like, oh, maybe I didn't see you then. On my way out, periodically I'd turn back, check. Nope, didn't see him, he's gone.
Daniel O'Neill, a UK-based YouTuber known as English Woodsman, has been sharing his outdoor adventures on YouTube for over 10 years. His channel is all about wild camping, stealth camping, and exploring the beautiful woods of the UK. Most of his videos are relaxing and fun to watch, as he shows his gear and shares the peaceful experience of camping alone at night. But in August 2023, Daniel uploaded a video that was completely different and terrifying. This particular video documented a camping trip in a woodland area near his home. The footage he captured still gives viewers chills. The video begins like many of his others. Daniel is walking through the woods alone, chatting with his audience, eating noodles, and pointing out the path to his campsite. It all feels normal at first. But then he notices something unusual: footprints and scattered garbage lying around, clear signs that other people had been in the area recently.
What a mess. Even over here. Backrest.
After about 20 minutes of walking, Daniel finds a clear patch of grass and decides it's the perfect spot to set up his tent for the night. He leans back against a tree, takes a break, and starts eating his noodles while chatting with his viewers. Everything seems calm at first, but as he relaxes, things start to take a truly disturbing turn. While he's talking and eating, Daniel suddenly notices something off in the distance.
Down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good. that a badger? Hello?
Even though the woods around him were quiet, Daniel suddenly heard footsteps heavy, human-like, and unmistakable coming from behind him. His heart skipped a beat as he quickly turned around and scanned the area, but there was no one in sight. The most unsettling part? As soon as he called out a cautious hello, the footsteps stopped completely, leaving the forest eerily silent once again. For a moment, Daniel sits still, trying to regain his composure. He sips his coffee and eats his noodles, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling creeping up on him. But the strange tension in the air doesn't fade.
A week, and we are going to really push the camping videos for the back end of the year now. A lot of hot tent camping, a lot of standard tent camping, maybe some hammock camping. There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got to better hear that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like someone's just walking around.
Halfway through the video, the sound of footsteps can clearly be heard. It's faint at first, but gradually seems to get closer to Daniel. By this point, most people would have packed up and left the area without a second thought. But Daniel, being the brave and experienced camper he is, decides to stay put. He sits back, focuses on finishing his meal, and tries to calm his nerves. Surprisingly, after a few minutes, Daniel seems to forget about the strange footsteps. He relaxes a bit, talking to his viewers as if nothing happened. But as darkness sets in, the forest takes on an eerie vibe. Then it happens again, the sound of footsteps echoing through the night. This time, it's much more unsettling. The noise seems deliberate, almost as if someone or something is circling his campsite.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this loads of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot. Like now.
After the third unsettling incident, Daniel finally decides it's best to head back to his hometown for safety. While it's hard to say for sure what was causing those sounds, they were disturbingly similar to human footsteps. It's possible Daniel wasn't alone out there and was being stalked by someone in the woods. That thought alone is chilling, especially when you consider how dangerous it can be to encounter strangers in such an isolated place. This serves as an important reminder: never fully trust anyone's intentions, especially when you're alone in the woods at night. You can never predict what might happen or who you might come across. Safety should always come first.
It goes with these woods.
The YouTuber Grizzly Gaz is well known for his adventurous content, often featuring his loyal pet, Fendi. His videos usually focus on exploring wild camping and uncovering local history, and his viewers love the wholesome and entertaining vibe of his channel. But in February 2023, Gaz uploaded a video that was completely different and absolutely terrifying. This time, he took on the challenge of camping in a haunted woods. According to local rumors, a girl had tragically taken her life in a house deep within the forest, and her presence was said to linger. The video starts like many of his others, with Gaz chatting with his viewers while making his way to the campsite. Upon arriving, he sets up his camp and prepares his meal as darkness begins to fall. Everything seems normal at first, a peaceful night in the woods, but things take a chilling turn later in the video. As Gaz settles into his tent to sleep, the calm atmosphere is broken by a sound. It's faint at first, but unmistakable. Someone nearby is crying. The sound drifts through the woods, growing louder, and it's clear he isn't alone.
Hello?
As Gaz settled into his tent, the sound of a girl crying suddenly came from behind him. Startled, he called out, "Hello," and grabbed his flashlight. But as soon as he turned on the light, the crying stopped. The forest fell into an eerie silence, and the sudden stillness made the moment even more unsettling.
Hello?
Determined to find out what was happening, Gaz decided to explore the area with his trusty companion, Fendi. Flashlight in hand, he scanned the trees and the surrounding campsite, but despite searching for several minutes, there was no sign of anyone, and no clue as to where the sound had come from. Feeling uneasy, but trying to stay calm, Gaz returned to his tent. However, as soon as he sat down, the crying started again, only this time, it was louder and more sinister, echoing through the dark woods. He stepped outside once more and checked behind his tent, but still, there was nothing. At this point, the situation felt far too dangerous to stay. Gaz knew it wasn't worth the risk. Quickly, he began packing up his gear, deciding it was best to leave the woods and find a safer place to spend the night.